What's up, everybody? You got the CarMan. Today we are going to be talking about, I'm going to go into what we were dealing with yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about profitability starting out used car lot. And today we're going to add to that because part of the profitability in starting out of a car lot is going to be how you advertise. And advertisement is going to be a key factor into winning this game that we all need to win so desperately because profit is the name of every game, and that's what it takes to win, my friends. So, how are we going to win this game? Advertising and branding. So let's just assume right now we don't really have money for advertising or branding. I mean, we only have enough money really to buy some cars. So how are we going to beat the system and play the game and win? Well, fortunately, back in the day, it used to be a lot different. Back in the day, used to have paper ads, and you had to buy airtime on TV or radio, or you had to do airtime, radio, or live air, or like buy like a little show on the local TV station. You know, a little 30 minutes. Hey, what's up, Buff? Buff made it. Everybody say, hey, Buff. He's only 3 days late. What's up, brother, man? Oh, poor guy. So anyway, we got to figure out how to get this advertising and branding because the name of this game is we have to be able to compete against everybody that's got millions of dollars, and you're not that guy. What's up, Big Cliffy? We got to be able to compete against the big players in the game, and that's easy. And there's one name that will do it for you. One name above all else that will even the stack for you guys. Their name is Google. Google can even the score for you no matter what you're doing. If you get into this game, you have to understand what branding actually is and the power behind it in your cars, because if you don't understand that, your chances of success are going to be very limited. You're going to be stuck to lot traffic, which we talked about yesterday. I'm sorry, was it yesterday? I think so, yeah. We talked about lot traffic, and basically you're going to have maybe a little bit in the evenings. You'll have a little bit of walk-on traffic, maybe some Saturday, Sunday traffic. But let me tell you what, guys, you don't want to have to survive off lot traffic. If that's what you're going to do, don't even get in the car business. It's too rough. It's too hard to make it. Lot traffic will get you by, but it's not going to get you profitable, and it's not going to get you successful. We've got to be able to demand traffic come from a different area, and we need it to be manageable, and we need it to be quality. Like, we have to have actual people that we're ready to connect to. He's exactly right. If you're not posting your cars online, you're dead. But even more so, I'm going to give you a different twist to this. You know, I'm always preaching the YouTube game. Matter of fact, I've told so many people about YouTube. I just stopped telling people about YouTube because people never listen to me. They're like, oh, well, yeah, that's cool. That's cute. I'm just like, it's the most powerful web browser there is on the planet. Why would you not utilize it? So how could you use YouTube in a car lot scenario where you could actually make it in your benefit? Obviously, you're not a YouTube personality. Of course, neither am I if you really get right down to it. But that's okay. I don't care getting in front of camera because why bother? Who cares? So long story short, you can utilize and leverage YouTube as one of your best friends. How is this going to do it? Number one, it's going to get your product out there. So the first thing I would do if you're going to be in this business is you need to open up a YouTube account right off Jump Street. Just get that done. Now, we don't care necessarily that your YouTube account's profitable or how many subscribers you have, or, you know, all that stuff is not really that relevant to you at this moment. This is about you moving cars and how YouTube can help you move cars. So how I would do it is this. Every time I had a little something going on, I would start with like a little let's just say your first car you get. I'm just throwing that out there. You might even just start out with just advertising yourself. Say, hey guys, this is Big Cliff and Auto Buff Industrial Incorporated. Sleds are us. We're going to go ahead and put you in a car no matter what. Whatever Big Cliff and Auto Buff are coming up. I guess Nathan's their general manager. Nathan, will you accept the general manager position for Big Cliff and Auto Buff? That's all we need to know right now. That's all we're asking. But anyway, these three guys got to decide they're going to get their organization. So the first thing I would do is do that first video. I would jump in there and say, hey, this is Jamie. I'm looking. This is where I'm going to open up locally. Nathan's been doing cars too long. Guys, I hate to break it to you. Nathan's a pro. He's not coming in here with that. He was going to want an advance on his pay, and he wants a freaking demo right off the bat. And he's going to want a dealer tag. It's just how it is. It's how it is, guys. It's what he wants. He's probably going to need a day off, and he doesn't work Saturdays. That should cover it for Nathan's job employment. But long story short, your that first video, man, it's going to be kind of personal. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, let's face it. You don't got to be good looking to be on YouTube, right? I mean, I'm kind of proof of that. You can just be on there and get your message out. So get your message out about your dealership. You might even walk around and say, yeah, guys, make it so human. Be like, hey, this is my car lot. I'm looking forward to serving everybody in this general area. Maybe do a little walk around. This is where we plan on putting the cars at. This is our office where we're getting started. And just kind of upload that first video. And that's going to give you that little personal touch that no other car dealer is going to have anything personal on anything. So you're going to be miles ahead if somebody actually lands on your page. And then when I get into like you buy your first car, you can do like little processes of it. Hey, this is, I don't care how cheesy it is. This is, and you name the car if you want to. I don't care. But say, hey, this is our 87, 97, whatever Chrysler Town and Country minivan just came in. This is what she looks like now. We're going to go and clean it up. We're going to make it look good. And we'll show you a little when it's done and it's ready for sale. Try to build a little bit of what you'll start getting is a little bit of a following on it. And then what's going to happen is you start putting those cars out for sale and you show that it's done. People will start lining up to buy your stuff because the mystery's gone. Like they're going to be like, oh, wow, this guy actually does check the oil. He does make sure the tire's good. He actually test drove the car before he sold it to me. This guy does all this stuff. And the more stuff you do, the more value you're going to build to your brand. Now, why is this important? Because no one else does it. It's going to give you an advantage that the other dealers don't do. See, remember, you've only got a little bit of few cars. I mean, let's pretend even if you want to be balling, you jump out there with 10 or 20 cars. That's a lot of cars to keep up with, but that's nothing. That's nothing in the big world of cars. We don't even acknowledge 20 car lot. If you got 20 cars in your lot, we don't even acknowledge that. It's not even competition for a franchise. Or even we had a lot that had about 200 used cars on it. We barely even thought of them as an annoyance, but the guy was getting rich. But I mean, we didn't even consider him, and that's because the used car lots really can't compete with the new car lots. The new car lots got it all over you. They got the advertising money, they got the name brand, they got the lenders, they got everything. So these little things I'm telling you are going to move your authority up on the internet. And if you're going to brand, that's what you have to do to make it in this business. Now, why is that important? Well, because now if you decide that, let's say you're going to get your YouTube account, now you're going to need to get that Facebook account. This is all under the same name. Let's use the same business name, because everything you attach to your YouTube account bumps your authority up. So if you start going on to if you get onto the advertising space with Facebook, then you have the web authority of a YouTube channel and Facebook. So you automatically go up higher in the search engines and you get bumps. So if somebody's looking at one of your cars and your competitor doesn't have a YouTube and he doesn't have a Facebook, you're going to rank in front of him. So they're going to find your car first, no matter what. That's what's going to happen. And then the other thing they got is Instagram really integrates really well with car sales now because they've got the new video feed going on. So you can, as the proprietor of the business, you can jump on Instagram daily and be like, even if you don't say anything, you can just upload a picture of whatever you got and be like, hey, just throwing this one out here for whatever. And guys, what's going to happen is in your community, people live and breathe on these devices now. So when you are out there and you're branding in their head and you're in their local area, you're going to be the only guy they know of. You're the only guy that's hip, that's into the social media. That's it. You're the guy. So they're going to be attracted to you, and you're going to have a key advantage over anyone that's in your market segment. And branding, once again, the whole premise behind branding is getting up there in the search engines because, like he just said a second ago, if you're not online, you're nowhere, man. You are nowhere. And just because you're online, you're still nowhere. So you have to have something that pushes your stuff further ahead. Like it's like a spider web, and it just keeps going out. And the more things you can connect to that spider web, the further your reach goes, and the bigger response you're going to get back, because Google's going to start liking you. Once Google likes you, you're in. I'll give you an example. Like sometimes I put out a video, and sometimes it might get like 20. Just to say, one time I actually got one that got like 30 views one day. And I was like, okay, that sucks, whatever. But I don't care, because like I mean, I just put them out and people use them. They don't. I don't care. We flush them, keep them. I don't care. I care less. But the point of this is, the next video I puts out the next day does 1,000 views the first day. That first one did 30, the next one did 1,000, and then it cycles again. Then maybe someone does 20 or 30, then maybe another one does 100. And there's really no method to it, except when you get consistent. Then within 20 days or 14 days, what Google does is they start watching it, and then they start pushing you up the ladder. If you do it sporadically, where you don't have all these things connected, you put it out, you'll do 20 people look at it, and it'll die. If you don't do that, and you have a branding situation where YouTube's behind you, and you've got the Instagram and the Facebook, you might start out with 20, but each day Google's going to sample you out to 3, 4, 5, 10 more people. And that's how you organically grow. So that's the importance of it, and that's how it all kind of interlinks. So if you're going to get into it, and you got to get into it if you want to win it, you need to establish at least those 3 things. And if you can put, I mean, I know people do that Twitch thing. I don't even get it. I don't get the Vine thing. I mean, I'm too old for it. I don't get it. I don't really even get tweeting that much. I mean, yeah, I mean, you could say like once. I mean, the president tweets all the time. I guess it's cool, but you know, as far as car business, I don't know. I don't know how tweeting. I don't know how tweeting connects the dots on our new shiny car, but maybe it does. I don't know. But if you could connect tweeting with it, whatever you can connect with this is gonna increase your brand authority, and that's where you're gonna win this game at, guys. And I think we did do one on social media in general. And also in there, we went into some of the other apps like Let Go, and I can't think of them all right now. However, if you get into it and it just search things like Let Go, and then a slew of them will come up. Join all of those. And what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to end up spending about 40 minutes a day on your social medias, quote, advertising, branding, and it's going to pay, and it's going to pay big, and it's going to keep paying big. I can tell you this, like, I don't even utilize YouTube to sell cars. I couldn't keep up with it. Every day that I wake up, there is at least messages for 10 to 15 people wanting to buy some car that they've seen us feature somewhere. I mean, it just doesn't end. It does not end. I could sell cars all over the world, day in, day out, period, in the story, if I wanted to use YouTube as the catalyst. That's how I learned how it would work so good, is because I accidentally figured it out, because we were doing it on the self-help thing. I was trying to build a self-help. Yeah, yeah, it's true. What apps has lots of under the radar advertising? That's a good question. But the thing is, that doesn't even matter anymore because of the way it is. Like, with Facebook, you can actually buy your ads on Facebook. So you can take your one little car and you can say, all right, Facebook, I'm going to spend 99 cents and you're going to get me 100 views. But let me tell you what Facebook's going to do. Facebook's going to show those 100 views to people that just search for a car that fits your criteria. Now, I don't know how you beat that. Like, you cannot compete. And same thing with Google. Google's going to look at people once you have your YouTube account and you've searched. We did the search engine optimization, and we'll get into a whole video on how to start a YouTube channel to be productive in the car business. But long story short, once you get into the YouTube channel and we've got it downed in with some of the search engine optimizations, that's just putting the buzzwords in it in different places, and some of the key phrases for your town and local area. What's going to happen is Google's crawlers are so smart. They will actually, people that are searching for a used car, like, they keep records of everything. They know exactly who to match your page up with. So they'll be looking at that guy going, oh, you're over here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I know Auto Buff's over here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So Google's like, maybe if I show them Auto Buff stuff, maybe I can sell some advertising. That's how Google looks at it. So that's the game you got to play. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So if you get into y'all guys kill me. You guys kill me sometimes. But if you get into the search engine optimization part of this and the branding side of it, and you marry it together, Google will sell your cars for you. I know it's the strangest thing. It's like it's a world we don't conceive because we weren't raised this way. It isn't how we grew up to believe it to be, but it is how it works now. Off topic. I'm sure y'all have heard of the Amazon. What is it called? FBA or whatever. So basically, in a nutshell, you're just buying a product, getting it repackaged, whatever you're going to do to throw your stuff, you put on Amazon and just pretty much forget about it. And if you do it correctly, Amazon will just start filling orders and send you a check every month. I mean, in our mind, we're like, I don't get that. Like, don't I have to advertise? Don't I have to? But the thing is normally you would, except the way technology works now, Amazon's the same boat Google is. So Amazon, all of the billions of people that are using Amazon, they know exactly what they're looking for. They know what they're probably going to look for next, what they're most likely to shop for next. And if you fit that criteria, you no longer have to spend a newspaper ad because these search engines of these brilliant engineers are going to put you together with the end consumer. And so you bypass all the shit in the middle, which is to me, as far as I'm concerned, there hasn't been a better, easier way to make money since actually printing money, I don't think. If you are really keyed into this, this is the hottest, this is the new gold rush of our era. Technology and selling cars. The days I just don't think there's any value in the newspapers anymore. I think they're dead and obsolete. Even back 10 years ago, you could go jump on Auto Trader and you could buy an ad on Auto Trader for 25 bucks. And a week later, whenever the publication came out, it'd run for you for a month and people would buy it. No one buys it anymore. No one wants it in print. It's digital and it's an on-demand segment that we're in. People want their stuff now and on demand. Now, with that being said, once you've took the time to get yourself vested into getting you a little bit of branding and a little bit of into the social medias and getting that authority established, the key thing to really making people happy in this game is immediate results. So you've got to be the immediate result guy. So if somebody's sending you an email, you got to send it back. I mean, you just don't play games. If someone calls you, you answer your phone. You don't play around. If somebody wants you, you got to be on call. You got to be on tap for when they want it. I mean, post your hours. I mean, obviously have a life afterwards, but during that time that you're posted available, you got to be available. You got to make it happen because that's what people want. They want it now. So if you start getting in there, you've got your little brand authority going, then you're going to start getting ratings on these ads that you're doing or things that you're selling. And once your ratings start going up, it's over, man. You're competing with the Chevy dealer and the Ford dealer and the Nissan dealer because at the end of the day, Google doesn't give a crap who they are. All they care about is who's happy on their side. And as long as you're playing with the big boys, you are one of the big boys. That's how it works. So that's my version of how I would. This is how I would, if I was starting out brand new, this is the first thing I would do. I would start out the YouTube channel, like I'm saying. I would start getting those videos out there about my cars, about what my mission statement is. I would get a Facebook account. I know some of us probably need to visit, maybe a facelift place or whatever. Actually, just get your wife to do the talking. I know you're going to have to pay some crap, buy her something, make her happy. Whatever you got to do, get somebody pretty on there to do some talking. Explain who you are, what you're about, and then jump in there into the Facebooks, man, and then start making those posts on the cars and, every day throw a little something extra in there. Hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this one deal today. It's for 5 hours. Get you a little whatever going on. Keep it up, or she will walk away. Yes. So, long story short, definitely. Newspapers are an over 40 market. Yeah, but let me throw you something, Buff. You're who buys when you're over 40, you're in that age group. I'm in that age group. I don't buy $2,000 cars. Most people that are over 40 are very well established and have a little bit of stuff built up as far as they're financially secure. They have credit. And what's up, Windy City? And now I'm not saying that you couldn't entice them. I'm just saying you got free versus paying. And, you will have a small window that you can advertise to, and you may get a small return on that. I mean, there is people over 40 that will buy cheaper cars, but in the big scheme of things, most people, you know what? On the other hand of that, most people over 40, you're not going to reach the way I'm telling you to, too. So I guess I didn't really think of it on that level. He's absolutely right, because most people over 40 are not that savvy on the tech and what's going on with everything. So I'll have to stand with you and agree with you on that. As far as being able to advertise to the 40-year-olds, you may do a little better focusing on paper ads. Although I will say a lot of them do seem to be converting over to social media, especially Facebook. The older crowd seems to favor Facebook. The number one out there is YouTube for social media, and Facebook is declining because apparently the young kids don't like that their parents can be on it. I guess if I think about it, I think about when I was a kid, if my parents were on a social media site, we didn't even have them. But if they did, I'd be like, that sucks. I don't want my parents creeping on all my friends because, we're all, your parents think all your friends are either potheads or bad for you or whatever. So I see why kids are kind of deferring. So most kids are rolling into YouTube or Instagram. That Facebook is declining rapidly. And plus, they jumped into that political bandwagon, which really threw up their shares pretty bad. I'm talking about knowing your market, not that you can sell our $2,000 cars. Oh, yeah. Okay, got you. Well, there is the people out there that are over 40 that are buying their grandkids and kids' cars that are looking for that $2,000 market. I wouldn't banish newspaper all the way. I'm just, when you look at spending 99 cents and Facebook returns you 50 to 100 customers, it's hard to go to a newspaper and spend 200 or 300, because if you spent 200 or 300 with Facebook, you would literally be everywhere. They have just immediate penetration and immediate outreach that you just can't even compete with. Facebook is ridiculous. And also with YouTube puts ads out too now. I haven't ventured so far in deep. Now I know that you can get them really cheap, but if you're going to make the video on the car anyway, it might be worth the 99 cents or $2 with YouTube just to start throwing your little advertising campaign out with both of those, Facebook and them and Instagram. And I think you would be really pleased at the results because, like I said, all their technology is designed to match people with the right, all their technology is to meet the right user in the end game, which newspapers can't do. Traditional advertising can't do. But traditional advertising has worked for 100 years, so I can't say it doesn't completely work. I'm just saying there's a newer, faster way that does it a lot cheaper, and that can cross the gap really fast if you're trying to swim across that river. All right. Anything else on there? Advertising and branding. I think I pretty much got my message clear, because I just really want to touch base with this because this is such a key essential. Like, this starts before you actually open the lot. Like, you can start walking people through the whole thing, and before you know it, you're going to have a ton of followers on Facebook. Unlike me, because I don't really give a crap about Facebook. I don't even look at it that much. But I do get messages from people and I will respond on them, but I don't post nothing on Facebook. But if you had a business you were trying to build on Facebook, that's a great place to do it. Facebook is awesome, the little public page. And same thing with Instagram. And, think about Instagram. There is so much going on Instagram. Like, at first, when I started doing Instagram about last month, I guess. Let's see. Craigslist and KJ left the buy and sell in the dust in my area. Yeah, Craigslist. I'm talking about knowing your market. I think so. Yeah. Okay, so I think Craigslist is like, Craigslist to us now is almost the printed media. Even though it's it to us, it's still it is a classified. So it's still us a matter of putting like a digital classifieds out, which is different than the YouTube and the Instagram and the Facebook. But a lot of people, I would like to actually hear the numbers, but I know there's a lot of people that still utilize Craigslist in different areas. So yeah, Craigslist is excellent. Definitely advertising or dealers or whatever you got to do to keep it straight. But yeah, I'm down with some Craigslist, definitely for sure. What else have we got out there? I guess that's about it today. Anybody got any questions on this stuff at all? I'm listening. What you got? Yeah, but Craigslist is, I have to agree, Craigslist it seems to be like hit or miss, and I'm only using the MySpace thing as, remember, because that was such a rage, and it was just going to be like a great little moneymaker. Yeah, so they do charge for almost anything now. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. So MySpace, when it first came out, it was kind of like a hip new social gathering place, I guess. And it kind of crashed. And then, Facebook kind of, maybe I'm missing one, but I think it went from MySpace to Facebook. And then, Facebook seems to, took a bite of it. And then, of course, YouTube was taking a bite of the videos. And then now YouTube turned around and looked over their shoulder. Now they want a piece of Facebook, and Facebook wants a piece of YouTube. And I don't think there's much room for many other people because they're really big boys in the game. But Craigslist, I think, yeah, Craigslist could be very well on its way out. I would be very interested on its actual user numbers, like if they're up or down, or if they're in a decline, or if they figured out another niche to be able to grow from. But Craigslist they just turned into such a pain in the butt. Like I remember listing cars on there, and it went from just being able to post it in 5 minutes to verify this, verify that, blah blah blah, and they just kept adding and dicking with it till it was just a big pain to do. And then of course with Craigslist, they don't seem to have any way to get rid of all the scammers, and there does seem to be. I hate to even post a car on Craigslist because my phone will just be buzzing daily with some idiot asking me, you still got the car? Well, yes, of course I still got the car. But anyway, it'll be something along the lines of, great, everything sounds good to me. I'll just send you a check. So what do I say? Great, man. Send me a check. Never answer them again. But long story short, there is a lot of scamming going on. And then a lot of the cars that are on there are not real cars. I mean, I don't really get the benefit of the scammers. I don't even understand how they're making money. I mean, they must spend a gazillion dollars just posting crap on Craigslist. Like I don't even get the end game of what they're going after. But I think in some world of fantasy, they're thinking someone will actually do I don't get it. Like they're going to send you a check, and then I don't get why they send you a fake check. I don't even get the whole thing. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's all bullshit. At the end of the day, none of us got time for it. We're all here to make money. Buy cheap, sell high, advertise for next to no money. Yeah, that's true. I do think there will always be a need for newspapers because I do like to read too, and there's some credibility with newspapers. New car dealers are never going to let go of newspapers because, well, what I was just saying, the demographics of people, the higher education that you tend to deal with, the more you actually read. And so a lot of your real buyers are readers. So they're interested. They've raised their whole life. You're watching the Wall Street or their local newspaper or whatever. And when I was a kid, I mean, newspaper came to the house every day. And Richmond Times here, I get it, but I'm probably the only one in my neighborhood that even gets it delivered. So I don't know why that is, but it seems to be that way. All right. Yeah, so I guess that's about it today, guys. I hate to bust and run, but I'm feeling like we kind of covered it. Now, tomorrow, do we want to get into what do y'all want to get into tomorrow? Because we got into I'm just starting a new car dealership now, and I'm trying to I'm a hypothetical one. And I went into inventory. Yeah, okay, there you go. There were some of the ones I couldn't think of. Offer up, let go. Yeah, and they're just a whole new name in the game. By the way, I got your message, Mr. Genwright, on the 12-year exclusion for the Turo cars. So he basically hit me up yesterday. Yesterday we thought it was 10 years, but he did some research and said it was 12 years if you want to put a Turo car in a rental fleet. And then also, Autobuff didn't catch the show yesterday, but he was letting me know he's his idea was to put cars in a rental service for 12 to 18 months and then sell them back out for parts or whatever, pull them out of the fleet and let them roll. Either or, I think both of those are a great plan. The only thing that I would get into with the car rental, because we're talking about starting a new car and different profitabilities. This is from yesterday, kind of bleeding back into today a little bit. So I did look at Turo pretty close today, and they apparently, if I understand this correctly, and Mr. Jenright could definitely, he can let us know, but I understand there's different tiers of insurances that they offer. So there's a portion where they basically only collect a 10% fee all the way up to a 65-35 split. So they collect 35% of the fee. And that apparently is their premium insurance. And if I understand it correctly, that covers pretty much anything, including loss of income, small damages to your car. And it does seem to be a really profitable situation as far as convenience, because they are supplying, if I understand this correctly, they supply the customer to you. So to me, that's a big deal. There was some drawbacks that I was hearing. One was a lady was talking about her car being stolen and the procedure and trying to recover it. It doesn't seem like, I guess they would cover it. I guess if it was actually stolen, the company would actually cover it. But there is going to be some hassle with that. It appeared to be that other people seem to be having no problem at all with the claims department in Turo if they had damages on their car or anything. So it does seem to be kind of, from what there's only limited information about them out there that I could find, but it does seem to be customer service seems to be hit or miss. Now, Mr. Jenright can definitely let us know how it is, but if he's had any claims with them or not yet. But that would be interesting. I'd be interested to find out about that. What else? And it does also seem like a pretty reasonable way to make money. So Buff is talking about doing it himself. I'm talking about self-insuring, which is not self-insuring, but get his own insurance company, which is great too. That means you keep all the profit. But I wonder what that insurance is going to cost you versus what it's going to cost you to run through Turo. That would be something to consider. So Buff, if you're going to look into this, this is a better. Oh yeah, he just brought that up. Would it be better an idea to carry your own insurance and concentrate on local markets? Yeah, I would say. See, you're in New York, so I heard New York bans everything. So I don't know if you're allowed. Are you even allowed Turo in New York? I'm just asking. Does anybody know that if New York is a Turo market or not? Because New York is so regulated. But even if they aren't allowed, yeah. See, this comes down to the traffic. If you're gonna look into no Turo here, okay. So New York is banned, and I figured that because New York does not even allow like dealer prep fees, and I mean they allow like a $50 one or something, but they don't, like everybody else is like $3.99, $8.99. Hell no, not in New York, buddy. New York, they don't play up there. It is regulated. But so they don't allow it up there. It must be an insurance thing. Yeah. So Buff, it sounds like your only option is to do like a little insurance plan, but it's going to come down to traffic. So for you, I'm definitely suggesting you to jump on just get like a little YouTube channel that you can kind of put this car rental stuff into and your cars into, and just start getting you some web authority, because you're going to want to search up there when people are looking for car rentals or buy here, pay here, so you can switch them over. That's going to be your key game to succeeding in that car rental business. That's what I would do if I were you. If I was living in the old New York state, that's how I would handle it, or that's how I would look into handle it. And if nothing else, don't put a wrench in everything, but it looks like we might have to. All right. So back to this Turo thing too. I was watching a girl that she had, I can't think of her name, but I'll try to remember for tomorrow. But this girl, she's pretty young. I wouldn't even say I mean, she might not even be 30. She's kind of like maybe 20s, might be mid 30s. Yeah, exactly. If Turo's charging 25%, you're paying it anyways. Yeah, yeah, you're definitely paying it. There is no in the middle. Who's going to the insurance company's getting paid. That's a fact. The question, I guess the only thing is if Turo's paying it, I'm sorry, if you're taking it out of your fees, it's kind of like it doesn't cost you that monthly bill in the big scheme of things, or if you don't do as much business, it wouldn't be as expensive. However, at 25 or 35%, let's do the math real quick. If you got $1,000 check and they got 25% of it, what is that? So they make $250 for insurance for $1,000 worth of rentals. It's kind of pricey. So if you had 5 cars, that's $1,000, $1,200 a month insurance a month. It's going to come out the same, Buff. It doesn't. I don't think it's going to matter. I think you're going to be. The only difference is, I guess, with them is you can do a smaller amount instead of. Usually, if you're getting into the car rentals, they're going to make you do a minimum of 5 or 8 or 10 for your fleet. Whereas I guess Turo will let you get by with just having a 1-car fleet, so you wouldn't have to jump in as heavy right off the jump street. That kind of looks like maybe that might be the only upside. But at $250 a month per car to rent it, that's actually pretty reasonable. You might get out there. I'm pretty sure insurance is gonna cost you above $1,000 a month. So you got to have those cars rolling and making money to make it worth your while. It's kind of like taxi stuff. It's like all state commercials with overcharging you in the first place to give you a check back if you have no accidents. Is that not the biggest hunk of shit you ever heard in your life? We're gonna charge you too much to start with, and if you don't mess up, we're gonna send you just a little thank you for not messing up and letting us be more profitable than we were first anticipating. It's ridiculous. That's like people that don't have insurance but have no bad driving record, so they go to get an insurance quote, but their insurance is high risk, not because they're a bad driver, but because they didn't have insurance to start with. It's asinine. And when you look at the insurance companies, all you need to know is they have billions with a B, billions of dollars. They do not have billions of dollars for looking out for your best interest. They have billions of dollars because they charge too much. What they should be is closer to a zero equity. Well, I guess that wouldn't work for for the company plan, but long story short, the insurance company's not in your best interest. Of course, you can't live without them. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right, Big Cliff. No track record. I guess, who knows? AIG and all those guys, man, they got big, 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 big money. And it'll always be that way. So ain't no sense in complaining. I mean, we'll just have to live with it and deal with it, I guess. All right, guys. I guess tomorrow, if you come up with something you want to, I got an idea where I'm heading with this tomorrow. But if you come up with something you want to get more specific on, because I'm trying not to leave anybody out. Like if you got something that's like bugging you, and you're like, okay, man, like if you get hung up on the location, for example, like what are you expecting out of your location? Like, are you expecting just an office? Do you need a garage bay? Do you need a lift? What kind of display area do you think is good? That sort of thing, and signage and all that. If you want to go down that direction, we can do that. They've got plenty of software out there. You're going to need some software for your new car lot. I mean, I guess you do and you don't. I mean, if you're going to do everything by hand, how do you deal with high-risk drivers? Your insurance company is going to cover that, because I think how that's going to go down, when we did this in the past, we had to send off a thing. We'd fax them the stuff, and then they would give us the okay or the denial on whether they could ride or not. And that's kind of how the insurance companies roll. Now, they may have updated it since then and maybe a little different way of doing it. Matter of fact, I'm sure it's online now. You can probably just scan their driver's license and the insurance record will come back. And what the insurance, kind of like your credit bureau, the insurance company scores you. So if you have a score that sucks, then they're going to treat it appropriately. And I think a lot of factors like your age, what kind of what kind of I don't know if your job or employment status goes into it or not, but I know it's definitely an age thing, and it's probably an accident or violations records, like if you have points against it. So If you're over 25 with no points, I think you're pretty clear. And then if you got a couple points against you, I know that seems ridiculous, but then of course then their tiers go up from there. Yeah, exactly. I was watching a guy today that leased out his Porsche on there. He only has one Porsche, and I guess he wasn't using it much, so he decided to rent out a Cayman. And long story short, guy went around a corner and swiped out some of the bottom, but it was like a 2007. I'm probably my guess 80, 90,000 miles. It wasn't like it was a new car, but he was having a cow over it. I can't imagine buying Porsches to rent them out. I mean, I guess there's a market for it. There's money being made on it, but that isn't my thing. Yeah, that was definitely a big oops. If I'm only renting out cars that, as far as I'm concerned, have no value to me, which is four-door, good-looking four-door cars with good gas mileage that you can just kind of farm them out and just keep on rolling with them. I wouldn't put anything exotic out there, although I'm sure, like this one girl, she had a brand new Corvette she leased. And the first person she leased it to didn't even pay it all the way out and then dumped it ahead of time in an apartment complex beside her. I was like, you're putting somebody in a 2017 Corvette on a Turo leasing app? That seemed nuts. I mean, I can only imagine what it costs a week to rent those things out. But I guess, there's probably people, there's, what they say, there's an ask for every seat. So it's probably true on that too. But if I was y'all, I would definitely look at the cheap, me, I'm all going to be the cheap car. I'm going to be the cheap, reasonable guy that if you destroy it, I don't really care. I throw it away anyway. Whatever. Now, I do think there might be a market for trucks out there, except I think a lady just offered to buy a car from me and I turned her down. Why'd you turn her down, Big Cliffy? If you're out there and you got into the truck rental business, I think that's cool. But the only problem I got with the truck rental business, people are rough on trucks, man. Like you get good money to rent them out, but man, my God, do they beat the crap out of them. I mean, people beat trucks down. I mean, they beat them down. Not saying you couldn't make good money on it, but I mean, of course, if you got into like some later model, you can buy those F-150s, mid 2000 F-150s for next to nothing. You're probably not going to hurt them, so maybe that might work for a rental car too. An Opel Corsa. Oh, my son's car. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, why'd you turn her down? She didn't offer you enough money, or what? What's going on with that? We got to hear about Big Clip. Big Clip's up to some stuff down there in Barbados. I always picture him as like a guy sitting on a beach with like under one of those cabanas or under the umbrellas, sipping on a drink with one of those white hats on. He said I had no shirt on. Okay. Or pants. Okay. Couldn't you just use a basic GPS for the rentals? You could definitely use a basic GPS. You're gonna have to get a feel for who you're renting to, no matter which way this goes. There's that personal side of it that you're just not gonna. That human touch is what you need, and without that, it's hard to make a call on it. I mean, if you got a guy there that he refuses to look at you in your face when you're talking to him, and when you ask him questions like "Where do you work?" There's 4 different answers. What about your proof of residency? He stays with his so and so. No, if somebody answers with "I stay at," they're probably not a great place to start as far as long term rentals. I get that a lot. People are like, "Well, I stay somewhere," which is different than living somewhere. Staying somewhere means, well, it's my girlfriend. I'm hanging out, but we're not really like girlfriend boyfriend. We're just kind of like doing the whatever, and then you go find your car, and it's like he ain't staying there no more. So if you got somebody that has a residence and they live there, or they've been living there and they're stable, okay. Last 3 months of bills and license. Yeah. Yeah, Buff, I feel you on that. Yeah, GPS and just use your gut on that. So 3 months. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. I'll let Nathan say that. I can't really say that without getting bumped on YouTube. But so the last 3 months to me is not enough. If I'm qualifying someone, you want me to do the video on that tomorrow? Because that's a lot in that. Would y'all like to know how I qualify people and get into what we're looking for as far as stabilization, and what my guess is if they'll pay back or not, because that's some really good information if you want it. But in a long story short, yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into, like, when I'm looking at someone and judging whether or not they're going to be a good payer. All right, so tomorrow we're going to get into qualifying your buyers. We're gonna get into qualifying your consumers. How does that sound? Does that sound good to everybody? And we'll get into we'll get into it. We'll get into the nasty part of it. Like, we'll just get right down to it, from employment to residential to track records to how you're reading the credit bureaus, what you're looking for in there. And then on top of that, we'll get into like what we're looking for in the references, and we're also looking for family tree and all of that good stuff. That right there might save you a lot of money, especially if you're going to jump like you're on a shoestring budget, like you're saying, and you're trying to, you need to be able to save corners, but at the same time, you need to be able to roll smart. So tomorrow we'll get into that. We'll get into qualifying the consumer tomorrow, which is basically how to cover your ass from getting tore up. There's some things we're just not going to put up with, and we're selling cars, and you just need to learn it from day one so you don't get burnt. All right, guys, we're going to look at that tomorrow, and I'm going to tell y'all peace out from the RVA, and y'all know what we need to do tomorrow. Y'all need to be shopping my Amazon. I've been selling. Okay, I'm going to throw this in there real quick before I go. So Amazon, my Amazon store, to make my Amazon store, my affiliate store, worthwhile, I need to have about 1,500 people a day look at it. Now, what that means is that's just 1,500 people kind of casually, and they'll land on your affiliate store, and then maybe they'll go into Amazon and buy something else, which I've sold everything from cat hotels to condoms to, you just would not even believe the stuff people buy that Amazon pays me for, because they start at our car channel, which I'm not sure why they leave the car channel and go buy condoms, but I don't even want to think why that is. And I know y'all are gonna. I knew I should have not told y'all that. So I don't know why. I don't know why people leave my car store and then go buy condoms, but whatever it is, but they buy that, they buy toasters, they buy everything from surgical caps to you name it, they gets bought. So my game plan with Amazon is this. I'm looking to get about 1,500 people a day that stroll through the store and buy. They don't have to buy anything, but just about 1,500 people. What that equivalates out to in the end of the day is that's going to make me about $50 a day. So I'm playing with the Amazon store to try to get me to about a $50 a day / $1,500 a month passive income with Amazon. Then I'm going to be happy. Currently, I only have 25% of my videos never rollerblade. That's right. Gotcha. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking about 1,500 people and about $50 a day, and I've got about 25% of the channel upgraded to where it's got the Amazon stuff in it. So keep in mind, I'm getting ready to approach 500 videos, so that's 400 more that I've got to go through and change all the SEOs and update whatever products we were using and all that crazy stuff. And I think at the end of that, I will finally reach my goal of 1,500 a day. But meanwhile, before I'm rolling out of here, I always tell you to shop Amazon. Peace out. Nothing but love from the RVA. You guys keep it together till tomorrow, and don't be loaning nobody no money till we get done with our conversation tomorrow. Peace out. Nothing but love. See ya.